Hi listeners, it's Kat here from Aghast. I just wanted to take a quick minute outside of the show to let you know about empowerment coaching. I know this is probably confusing a lot of people right now. Outside of telling you about true crime, I work as a life coach, helping others achieve their goals, break down barriers, eliminate limiting beliefs, or anything else a person may need guidance to achieve their most authentic life. The world has been upside down since 2020, and I know a lot of us may be lost, confused, or unsure as to what we want and how to get there. If you think speaking with a life coach may help you, please feel free to contact me at alteregowellness@outlook.com or at alteregowell on Instagram. Okay, now back to our show.
Hey folks, Kat just put me through a real annoying fucking story, so that's something to look forward to. Do you have 20 minutes to get annoyed and probably a little bit depressed? Well, I sure did, so you gotta join me. We got today 52 years turning into 25, wearing all black, taping your shoes, folk bands, and church. If you're thinking, dear Christ, are they gonna give a story about Johnny Cash and time travel and something about taping their shoes? You're wrong. You're wrong. No, we're not talking about Johnny Cash, Chip and Claudia Northup by the fucking hands of Daniel Shithead Marsh. This one's gonna suck, but they always do, and that's why there's whiskey. So grab yourself whatever makes you smile, and let's get through this. I'm John.
And I'm Kat.
And this is Aghast.
Okay, get all your squeakies and stuff out now.
We need new chairs that aren't squeaky.
We need 2 microphones.
We need 2 microphones. Well, Christmas, it's on its way.
Good.
Yeah, dumb bitch.
Now who gets it for who? Like who?
I will get you a pink microphone.
I don't want pink.
I'll get you a microphone that's white, and then like the microphone piece is red, so it's like you're talking into a tampon.
No, I want a good one. The Russell Brand black one.
Oh, God. You want a black microphone?
Yeah.
That's easier to find than a pink microphone, so that's good.
Okay. Why don't you give us our disclaimer?
Already? I don't know.
Well, it's hot today, and you always hate when I talk about the weather.
All right. Listen, folks. You may have stumbled across us and discovered that we do true crime and murders and mysteries and rapes and all kinds of fucking dog shit, and we have to do it with just a teensy bit of levity. Because if we didn't, we would be solemn and tired and depressed, and we wouldn't play our video games very well. Kat wouldn't be able to play Animal Crossing anymore because it would be too much for her. She'd be thinking about all the murders that she researches. If making fun of criminals and their families and all the people who make their lives easier is not your thing, fuck off. For the rest of you, I hope you poured something drunkish into we have white wine. And we'll let you know when to take the shots. Let's get started. Let's get on with the goddamn show.
Oliver Chip Northup Jr. was born April 26, 1925 in Grand Island, Nebraska.
How does one get...
I know.
fucking... Call me Chip.
I love it, though. You know, like there's like the case we covered not too long ago where her name's Margaret, but she went by Penny. And it's just like, how does that happen, and how can I get it to happen to me?
I hate people who, like, they try and enforce a nickname on themselves. They're like... My name's, John, but, call me Jack.
Yeah.
All my friends do, and all of his friends are like, no, we don't. We call him Dumbass.
I love how my name's Rosebud in Animal Crossing, and I love how, like, my little villagers will come in to be like, hey, Rosebud, can I call you Tulip? And I'm just like, yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Well, we're all hippies here, and then you have, like, a big orgy with the lions.
Okay, anyways, we're off track here. So Chip was born April 26, 1925, in Grand Island, Nebraska. He was a very successful attorney who previously served in the U.S. Navy during World War II. Chip met Claudia Maupin at church, a very active woman who loved being a part of her community and was also involved with the local theater. Theater,
if you're Joe Bob.
The pair fell head over heels for each other, and in 1996, 71-year-old Chip and 59-year-old Claudia tied the knot.
Jesus, that late?
Yeah.
Holy cow, that's cute.
The pair's blended family included 11 children, 17 grandchildren, and 8 great-grandchildren.
Wow.
On the morning of April 14th, 2013, Chip and Claudia did not show up to their Unitarian church, which Chip was actually a founding member of.
How do you found a church?
I know. We need to get on that.
We should. I hear it's good money.
Yeah. Phone calls to their landline and cell phone from the kids, family, and friends went unanswered. Chip was scheduled to meet with his folk band later that day and was a no-show, so loved ones began to worry.
Holy fuck, this guy, this couple had cell phones. They were born in 1925.
Well, Chip
and had
was.
cell phones and he was still involved
In a folk band.
In a folk band.
Yeah. Claudia's daughter showed up to their house later that evening with the police, but her knocks at the front door went unanswered. They walked around the back of the house to their bedroom window and saw that the screen had been sliced open. Though the house was dark, they could see a horrific scene through the window on the couple's bed.
Oh, shit.
Chip and Claudia were found on their bed, brutally murdered. Claudia suffered 67 stab wounds all over her body, one of them knocking out her tooth, and Chip was found with 61 stab wounds, ranging from his legs to his head. Their bodies had also been mutilated. They were disemboweled, and their organs had been removed. Claudia had fat pulled out of her leg.
Oh my fucking God, shit.
And it looked like whoever did this tried to remove Chip's eye, but was unsuccessful. Claudia's stomach had a cell phone inserted in it, and Chip's had a drinking glass.
Holy fuck.
And
what the fuck?
That chapter on YouTube covered this case as well, and I could be wrong, but from what I gathered on his reporting, it sounded like this did not go very fast for them. Like this was a slow attack.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's fucking horrible.
Aside from the horrific scene, the house was left untouched. No belongings were missing, no furniture or items had been tossed around, so investigators ruled out burglary as a motive.
No kidding.
There was also no forensic evidence, no fingerprints, no hair, no bloody shoe prints, nothing.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. So they were very diligent.
Yeah.
Again, it probably was a slower process.
Yeah. Yes. Sadly, the case went cold as investigators had absolutely no leads. However, there was a group of people that did know what went wrong, and this would come to light 2 months later in June of 2013. 16-year-old Daniel Marsh was a troubled teenager. In 2008, 10-year-old Daniel was on the news for receiving a Red Cross Heroes Award for performing CPR on his father who had had a heart attack. In the same year, his parents would divorce after an affair his mother had with his kindergarten teacher. It was this event that triggered Daniel's violent fantasies.
Oh, jeez.
He expressed extreme anger towards the woman his mother had left his father for, and even plotted to slit her throat. He also admitted to therapists that he had fantasies of torturing people. At age 11, Daniel was diagnosed with adjustment disorder with a depressed mood. According to hhma.org, an adjustment disorder with depressed mood means that you feel hopeless and sadder than would be expected after a stressful event. When he reached his teenage years, he started using alcohol and smoking weed. At the age of 14, his father kicked him out of his house due to him constantly being drunk and high. So Daniel moved back in with his mother. 14-year-old Daniel also had to be hospitalized for anorexia after dropping to 93 pounds.
Wow. So some real good parenting is happening in this
So his
house.
father was strict, like rightfully so. His mother was more aloof to his behavior.
You mean useless.
In January of 2013, he confided to a school psychologist that he was having homicidal fantasies regarding his schoolmates. When asked if he would act on them, he said, quote, "I have full confidence that I could hurt these people," end quote.
Oh my God.
A police officer was called to the school, but it was determined that he posed no harm to himself or others.
What?
He soon had another meeting with the school counselor saying he wanted to torture people by peeling off their skin and cutting off their eyelids. But these statements were never disclosed to law enforcement.
Why?
I know.
Why would you not disclose that? He's just, boys will be boys, and
Hormones.
I'm just, retired on the job and just got to get to fucking 3 o'clock so I can drink
Summer vacation.
my sangrias with my goddamn pension.
Daniel would also talk about his fantasies with his friends, but they always shrugged it off like it was some weird joke, not taking him seriously. Daniel started watching gore porn. He would watch amateur videos of real deaths and gory events.
Jesus, fuck.
He turned his fantasies to animal cruelty and bragged to his friends about strangling a cat. When his friend asked why he did this, he said, quote, "I just wanted to. I hated that cat," end quote. And I also read that he asked that same friend if he could kill his dog. And obviously the friend was like, fuck no.
Yeah, are you nuts?
On the night of April 13th, 2013, Daniel couldn't hold his urges and fantasies any longer. Fitted in all black clothing, black gloves, a mask, and tape on the bottom of his shoes to hide shoe prints, he left his home somewhere between 2 and 3 a.m., equipped with a 6-inch buck knife. He searched the neighborhood around his home looking for open windows, checking around 50 homes in total. He then found Chip and Claudia's condo with an open window. Their condo was only 2 doors down from his father's house.
Oh my God.
He cut their screen and entered through the window, following the sounds of snoring until he located Claudia and Chip sleeping. He admitted that he stood over their bed for about 10 minutes, trying to decide how he wanted to kill them. Claudia woke up during this and started screaming, so he then began stabbing her in the stomach while she begged for help.
Oh, fucking damn it.
Chip then woke up and he stabbed him until he thought he was dead. He continued to stab both of them even after death because it, quote, "it just felt right."
This
End
fucking
quote.
disgusting bastard.
He then cut open their stomach and removed their organs. He proceeded to cut Claudia's leg, pulling fat out of it, and as stated earlier, tried removing Chip's eye. He then placed the cell phone in Claudia's stomach and then the drinking glass in Chip's to, quote, "fuck with the people who would later investigate the murders," end quote.
Oh my God. That's so fucking ridiculous.
He's so dark.
That is fucking... Holy shit.
Daniel was questioned on June 17th, 2013. At first, he denied his involvement, but all his friends had already admitted that he would brag about committing the murder.
What a dumbass.
I know.
Like,
he did not keep any secrets.
Like he goes through the trouble of fucking hiding
his shoes
and then he's just like, "Yeah, guess what I did the other day, man? Just stabbed old people."
He said it to his friend and girlfriend the very next day.
What a dumb cunt.
But they didn't believe him. After 3 hours of interrogations, Daniel finally confessed, stating that he just couldn't take it anymore. He had to do it. He stated that he felt pure happiness. Daniel was charged with 2 counts of third-degree murder with special enhancements for intentionally killing more than one person, demonstrating exceptional depravity in the killings, lying in wait to kill victims, and inflicting torture in the commission of murders.
Jesus, no kidding.
He first pleaded not guilty, but then later changed it to guilty by reason of insanity. He was reviewed by a psychiatrist who found him mentally ill but sane to stand trial.
Good.
His trial began on September 2nd, 2014, at 17 years old. His defense team was using the side effects of his medication as the motive for murder.
Oh, that's horseshit.
The prosecutors argued that he premeditated these murders and that he was manipulative. On September 26, 2014, after 2 hours of deliberation, the jury found Daniel guilty under both counts and all other charges.
Good, absolutely.
They then had to determine if he was sane or insane, and they determined he was sane to commit the murders.
Good. Fuck this asshole.
Though he was charged as an adult, his juvenile status didn't qualify him for death penalty or life in prison without parole.
Oh, fuck that. Fuck this piece of shit.
After a lot of back and forth between his defense team wanting 25 years and the prosecutors wanting the maximum of 52 years before parole, the judge sentenced Daniel Marsh to the maximum of life in prison with parole eligibility after 52 years. A new bill in California in 2016 stated that juvenile court judges must decide if juvenile offenders are tried in juvenile court or adult court. This could turn Daniel's parole eligibility to 25 years rather than the 52. Daniel's defense team jumped on this and filed a motion.
Of course they did.
The court received over 300 letters opposing Daniel's motion. In 2018, Judge McAdams ruled in favor of the prosecution.
Good.
Daniel will continue to serve his original sentence of life in prison and no chance of parole for 52 years. In 2021, another motion was filed and argued that Daniel does qualify for the new bill. It was granted.
Oh, fuck that garbage.
So still serving 52 years, he is now eligible for parole in 25 years. Though I would strongly bet that he would not make parole. Just because he's eligible for it doesn't mean he'll get it. You know, like he has demonstrated he has fantasies about this.
That's so fucking stupid.
Watching his interrogation on YouTube is chilling. We'll link it in our show notes, but he finds this completely normal. And for someone to say after disemboweling, mutilating, and murdering an elderly couple saying he felt pure happiness.
Oh, that fucker should be dead.
Daniel Marsh was then featured on a TED Talk on YouTube talking on the subject, embracing our humanity. This obviously was very upsetting to Chip and Claudia's family, and they demanded that it be removed. It was removed 2 days later.
Good.
So that wraps up the tragic murder of Chip and Claudia. And I came across this lovely memorial page online while doing my research that had some beautiful memorials for Chip and Claudia, and I thought it would be best to end speaking about them instead of the monster that robbed them of their lives. Claudia was a mother and a gracious friend. She was known for her boisterous laughter and loving spirit, and that she made everyone she encountered feel valued. Claudia was an amazing hugger to the point that her family would prep newcomers by giving them the, quote, Claudia hug preparation.
They have like oxygen available.
She would embrace you, ensuring hearts were touching, and would just hold you. She hugged like a true mother and was the surrogate mother to many. Friends and family saying that she was the most loving and compassionate woman you'd ever meet.
Oh, wow.
Oliver served as an attorney until his death. Friends and family say he was an English professor trapped in the body of a lawyer. He adored law, but he was always pulled to writing. He read constantly and had many classics and Western literature memorized. He learned to play the guitar in his 30s, and that became his greatest joy outside of his marriage. He was fortunate enough to have experienced 3 long marriages, learning from each one, and became an even more caring and loving person. In his later years, his greatest loves were his wife Claudia, his progeny, and playing with the Putah Creek Crawdads.
God, that's a great fucking name.
I know.
Oh, that's just despicable. These poor people.
Yeah.
And that's the piece of garbage.
Yeah.
God, he has a gigantic forehead. It looks perfect for a fucking bat of caving.
That's him when he was on the news when he was 10. And we'll put these on our social media as well in our YouTube video. But just I want to focus on this one picture of Claudia and Chip where you can just see pure love for one another.
God, if only we had a picture of that for us.
It's heartbreaking knowing that they were just completely robbed of their golden years together and that they found each other later in life, you know, and their time together was cut so short and so brutally. But I'm sure their family members have this particular photo just in every room of the house because I just think it completely shows who they were as a couple and as individuals.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that wraps up our story on Chip Northup and Claudia Maupin. And we will not title this after the asshole that took their lives. So
fuck that bastard.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he's getting raped in prison, the fucking piece of garbage. Killing elderly people like that.
I'm not sure what his experience is in prison right now. And man, just like the back and forth that happened after his sentencing.
And what fucking moron would give him a fucking TED Talk? That's absolutely ridiculous.
It is the worst thing to watch. Well, shall we do Dylan McDermott?
Yeah, I got nothing more to say other than I hate him.
Yeah.
I think it's completely unfair that this piece of garbage didn't get the death penalty. That he didn't get life without parole.
Yeah, life without parole at the very least, you know, and the poor families to think if he was sentenced at 17 and could qualify for parole at 25 years.
Yeah.
He could get out and still start a very great life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like he could go somewhere.
You're in your 40s.
Yeah. That's so fucking disgusting. He'll have his fucking golden years, and these
Hopefully
people
not.
won't.
Hopefully he won't qualify for parole.
Oh, yeah.
Because psychiatrists did find him mentally ill, but sane to stand the trial. There's the evaluations that he had probably during the trial and afterwards, and I'm sure if he's mentally ill, he's still receiving an in-prison care for it. And so if he is released, I'm sure it would be on some strong grounds but we know that doesn't stop anybody. But
yeah. Anyways, let's end on the beautiful, soothing words of Dylan McDermott. It's like, no matter what I do, I always feel like I'm 5 years old, and I end up in the back of my father's car, looking out the window, and nothing has changed in 25 years. Man, if you found that
move over,
moving and
Ernest
profound,
Hemingway.
Oh man, you get yourself a belt and wrap it around your fucking forehead, and then hit yourself with a goddamn Nerf bat like until your head pops like a goddamn zit. That was the most ridiculous thing.
I wonder what context, like that quote. I wonder what story he was telling where they took this quote out of.
Yeah, God, he's such a wonderful guy.
He is.
Okay, well, thanks for sticking around, folks. Hope you have a lovely goddamn week. Oh, for the shots, let's, he got 52 years, so take 7 sips, and then another 7 for the bullshit 25, and then two shots for Claudia and Chip.
Yes, I agree.
To their memory.
Yeah.
All right, take care, folks.
Goodbye.
Ta-ta.
You can check us out on YouTube at Catam Concoction.
That's CATAMCONCOCTION.
And on Instagram at cast_Aghast.
Remember, there's a silent H. So, if
put my phone on silent. For their Unitarian Church. Oh, let me start that over.
Fine, start it over.
On the morning of April 14th, 2013,
Chip and Claudia.
On the morning of April 14th, 2000. On the morning of. Sadly, the case. The arm.
Squeaky.
Parole with.
Oh, this is a tough one. There's a lot of vowels and L's.
The judge sentenced Daniel Marsh to the maximum of life in prison with parole after. What am I saying?
Eligibility.
Okay.